So we start with addressing the elephant in the room. How will war get back?
Oh, I'm surprised we didn't just do a little jump cut to him going back.
How will you escape this prison of rock?
Maybe you could carry us?
You have certainly proven yourself resourceful.
No.
Perhaps I can provide a quicker way. Speak
Oh, look at that. How nice.
Serpent holes, ancient paths that worm their way beneath
Keep
the
also the
husk of
information in
steppe
mind when
world
we get to the
and
third game.
beyond.
I am not going inside a serpent's hole, thank you.
It seems we don't have a choice. But what's the price?
A trifle, really?
Sorry mate, we really can't. Samuel got these.
We have to deliver it though.
Would never come between you and
But
your
he was
Prince
just jesting.
No, I only wish to look at the heart. One
Okay,
glance, and our
sure.
bargain is sealed.
I guess that turns you on or something. Whatever.
Yoink.
Yeah.
Samael will be pleased.
At the very least, he's of his word.
The serpent holes
Fulgrim, you wouldn't happen to be the real bad guy in disguise now, would you?
I
What are
mean,
you talking about, Jover? A vicious-looking creature, and he's got the voice of Mark Hamill. I'm sure
Okay.
Phil Lamar.
Okay.
So Mark Hamill is the one with the Watcher. That was the Watcher. Anyway.
Also, to be fair, a lot of the denizens aren't exactly friendly looking here, so he's far from the only demonic being in that regard, but it's this whole lusting after the heart thing that has me wondering if, despite him helping us out with his shop, he might have something else planned.
You know, that's what they do. Anyway, the serpent holes are your fast travel method. The trick is that they are not, you know, particularly flexible. They are only located in places where Vulgrim can teleport. Basically, it's just allowing you to, you know, basically, I think you borrow his method of transportation, basically.
So, translation, you can only really use these and go back and forth to places you've already plugged onto.
Yeah, you need to unlock the places where Vulgrim teleports first before being able to teleport from one to the other. It's kind of, think of them like the ones from the Castlevania games, basically. What's also the other catch? You do need to physically get there, because this was still a PS3 Xbox 360 game, and this is basically to mask a loading screen. Thankfully, it doesn't slow you to a crowd, it just let you do, you know, a basic transportation event. But I find it kind of hilarious that poor War, it's not just a matter of instant teleportation. No, poor War has to just, you know, take the shortcut, but still, you know, walk his ass to the place.
It's gonna be funny if it turns out his compatriots are able to do these instantaneously.
Well, we'll have to see, technically.
So do you have to do this every time you try and do a fast travel, or is it just the first time?
From one point to another, yes.
Oh.
I mean, as you can see, it doesn't take that much. Again, it really is just there to mask a loading screen, but, you know, I could have lived without it, potentially. Like, again, I think Bayonetta had a better idea where it just puts you on a black void and lets you test the combos. But then again, since this game doesn't have that much variety in terms of button combinations, I guess that was, you know, the better compromises. And again, considering it doesn't slow your pace like a lot of, you know, AAA game these days do, I'm still fine with it.
Can you actually die if you misplace a jump?
I haven't tried, I guess, because they do have bottomless pits. So
that would be a bit annoying if you die literally in what's essentially just a level transition. So
mind you, it takes a while for you to lose all your health, even in the bottomless pits. But anyway, first hard delivery.
She suffered.
Not nearly enough.
Okay.
Beautiful. The second guardian, the Griever, moves in tunnels beneath this place. But first
I forgot we're all doing these quests technically for this guy at the moment.
It's literally a deal with a demon.
Wolfane, one
Although, from what you said, apparently the second game really goes into overdrive with the whole side questing for side quest's sake.
You'll see. Yep.
My business is
Backhanded him.
Mind you, there is a reason why we cannot really just kill the Watcher right now, as you can imagine, but it's also important what he's saying, that we need to find this Ultane fellow.
will require strength you don't possess. Yet.
Translation, get a power-up.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Samael?
Tell him, Watcher, how you stifle the horseman's true power in order to keep him on the council's leash.
I wonder.
Well, I have to wait for the council to authorize those power-ups now,
Thinking
don't
of
I?
Look at me, and the council will end you, both of you. I'm protected.
Not in
Diplomatic immunity.
here. You are war.
Oh, but apparently not in here.
Well,
Huh.
Samael is a very free spirit, so to speak.
Pathetic.
Well,
And he
given
has
that
a point, you know, it's kind of pathetic to see warriors like this.
Focus your anger. A great rage stirs within
And
you.
also,
Glory.
this cutscene is not going the way you think it is, though, mind you. Even if the visuals are implying otherwise, maybe it's for comedy relief, but you're about to see. So the Watcher is dead with this, right?
Wait for it.
No, he just bonked him a bit.
What was that?
And they just move on like nothing happened, although you do get a power up from this. You gain back the ability to transform into a demon. You're basically your rage meter. There you go. The one that you saw in the beginning of the game.
His army.
I'm guessing the idea is either War holds back or he's not powerful enough to destroy him yet.
Well, yeah, kinda. It's more of a case where, again, the Watcher was purposefully avoiding having the Horseman using his Chaos form because they, again, wanted to keep on a leash for the Council. But it does make you wonder, why would the Council deliberately withhold power for war, you know, for this kind of quest? I wonder.
Like, okay, don't, like... Yeah, like, aren't the council able to restrain War no matter how powerful he is? So why would they need to restrain him?
Well, again, we'll have to see, you know, as we go on. For now, we need to move on to the next area and reach this Ultane guy and to discover for what is the Black Hammer that we need to reach the Griever, basically.
But yeah, presuming that Samael is also a fallen angel in this continuity, that would explain why he knows the rules and pretty much doesn't take any of the Watcher's crap
You
as
might have
well.
gathered from the dialogue and the visuals already, but Samael clearly is more powerful than he lets up, and he was apparently sealed away there for a reason. So we'll have to understand also why he was put there and if he has a further goal. Like, are we sure that, even the Watcher noticed, are we sure that giving the hearts to Samael is a good idea, potentially to free him just to get to the location of the tower? I wonder.
Presuming he's a fallen angel in this continuity, because typically Samael is one of the archangels, most notably the Archangel of Death in the Bible. I wonder if the implication might be that since he's demonic, which probably means fallen angel in this continuity, that maybe he's working with Lucifer, essentially, who is, of course, the fallen angel, essentially.
Again, we will see only the time. For now, what you need to
It's all intriguing.
You might have noticed that this area functions as kind of a hub, and as soon as the more upgrades and gadgets you collect and unlock, the more you are allowed to explore, because, you know, in order to progress, there is a barrier that can be only destroyed by the specific gadget you have acquired at that point. In this case, the crossblade, where you can actually make that bomb, the inert bomb, explode using that gas leak. Don't ask me how that gas leak is still working 100 years later, but hey, you know, as long as it does.
Good engineering, I guess.
And I guess no one is caring enough to turn it off if someone doesn't pay taxes.
I guess, to be fair, we don't even know if there are any humans left alive to maintenance this stuff.
Oh well. For now we need to enter not a sewer system, but more of a subway system, believe it or not.
Ooh, train and electricity lines.
Well, you'll see. For now we just need to actually get there. And this is also where some palette swaps of enemies start popping up, like this guy, which is similar to one that killed before, this time you killed before, but he has now a blue flame instead of a red one. But it's also a good point to showcase the Chaos Form. Again, it's not that much different from how it was at the beginning of the game. A simple 3-hit combo with square, big attack with triangle, after the meter is over, you revert back to the original form, and you have to, collect back in order to transform again. The meter feels better if you perform not necessarily more stylish combos, but stuff like the counter from blocking. And of course, you also have items that can replenish, the meter itself. But like I suggested, never try to purchase those from Vulgrim because it's not really worth it. You might as well spend your currency towards, stuff that actually is worth it, like, the bow set or the weapons.
It's interesting you mentioned style. Like, again, I feel like half of the dev team wanted the combos to seem stylish, while the other half wanted them to seem more powerful and blunt, since, granted, maybe it's just that you're going with what's overall the best and more powerful moves, but the game doesn't seem to really call for you to mix up gameplay too much.
No, some moves are a bit better than others in a sense that they cover more ground, so they actually are cool for crowd control, particularly the whole not mashing the buttons, but wait just a second before pressing. A bit of a, getting a ribbon to say press square, wait half a second, then square again instead of just mashing the button. With the idea that War will just wait a second and perform a different move that allows him to move a bit more gracefully in order to perform like a 180-degree move like this, for example, which covers more ground and can perform again some crowd control. And again, as soon as that prompt pops up, you can just kill the enemy properly. And like I said, when you are in the killing animation, not only you are invincible, TM, but also the hits can also ricochet also on other enemies, so it's not like you're lost with just the one enemy that you're killing, but you're also doing extra damage if you're surrounded by a couple of enemies. So, oh Jesus! So you can strategize depending on where you position yourself.
And some of these enemies do seem a bit damage spongy, though maybe it's just that there's an idea.
You have noticed before, both the bosses and the mini-bosses and enemies, all of them seems to have a bit more, health. You have to remember that this game was developed again in 2010, so when it comes to normal mode, there's a degree of difficulty that might feel a bit more than what a lot of games developed these days consider their normal mode.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm just strictly going into how a lot of them seem like they do nothing but just soak up damage. Granted, maybe the idea is, hey, give these enemies more health so that players have more of a chance to get to practice out different moves. Maybe that was the mentality. And like you have admitted, there is technically a counter move, so... Yeah. But I do see that your strategy is more or less basically wail on the enemies because you have enough health to tank it.
I should theoretically, abuse more of the parry maneuver. I just, didn't. So that one is on me. Alright, now this is the Drown Pass. What a lovely place to be. And if I recall correctly, we're about to get the other, and I think last, hopefully, set of combat trials, so fun times are ahead.
Oh, wow, already?
Yeah. Mostly because, again, the game is kinda not losing its tricks, but at least when it comes to doing stylish things with the blade, is not, doesn't have that much to teach. You have to remember, these are technically, you can download potentially padding, but they're also there to teach you, mini tutorials, to teach you some basic and advanced maneuvers.
I guess I'm more so surprised we're close to the end of the ones, but to be fair, you did say it's mainly with the sword, so perhaps there'll be other things with other weapons.
There will be no more combat trials after this one.
Oh, Wow. I guess on the one hand, kudos for them not padding out their tutorials too much. On the other hand,
Well, I can already tell, at least for myself, that around this point it was already getting a bit annoying, so it was getting old. So I'm actually glad that the game doesn't lock you, because again, it's not even a case where they're optional. You need to actually defeat all of the combat trials before you can actually progress.
so question, will there at least still be more moves that you can unlock?
Yes,
or once you're done with the trials, that's
No,
what's
these
pretty much
these
it?
are still tied to the basic moves that you have, not the ones that you unlock with Wolverine. So
Oh, fair enough then. I thought you were also meaning that, that's it for, like, our tutorials with, like, new moves or maneuvers we
these
can get.
again, these ones familiarize you with the controls that you already know, but they make you repeat them enough times so that you have, enough of a memory to actually use them later.
Okay,
Yes.
bit of irony. I normally suck at straight up 2D games, and yet I feel I'm actually better in the swimming of 2D games than I am 3D ones.
Why is that?
It's just, well, it's because,
Perspective.
it's perspective. Probably have too much freedom of movement.
Listen, dude,
I guess-
I think I mentioned in the past, but I'm no one to talk. When I was like 6-year-old, at that point I was not having yet my own console, either 6 or 7, or 8. Basically, I was in elementary school and everything, and I had not yet a PlayStation for myself. I was invited to one of my classmates' house, and he was having a PlayStation because, of course, he was, a rich family's kid. Fucking spoiled brat, and he had a bunch of things to try, like Ape Escape, but also had also the first Tomb. Either the first, okay, remind me, which Tomb Raider is the one where you have the training at Croft Manor? Libs?
Ibs?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Which is the game that has the training at Croft Manor?
Well, there's the first 3.
Oh, all of them do have it, so I don't know which one was. I managed to make Lara drown in her own swimming pool.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first 3. Well, I gotta say, damn, Tio, you caused a time paradox, and
I had no
So we
idea
said
how
even-
to use the control properly at the stupid kid and all. Anyway, let's hear the song and dance.
Forgive me, friend. I would grant you passage were it within my power.
Okay, fair enough.
For me what you have done for my brethren, and I will hinder you no more.
You know what? I appreciate
There's
it.
got
It's an
to be a
NPC
better
who's...
way.
Must be broken.
I appreciate it. An NPC who's actually apologetic for hindering us and is like, dude, I'm sorry.
The
I
second
really
game
would
will
move if
tell
I
us
could.
more where do these golems come from and why they don't particularly like their job.
Does it tell us also where they go after they get up and walk?
Not necessarily, but we will know how they're made, basically. If I recall correctly, this is where it started to speed things along, because again, it's nothing that you haven't seen much already.
It'd be funny if it turns out all the Guardians eventually just go to a cookout where they're like, oh, War finally released you from your task? Yeah, it's cool, I can finally party now. Awesome.
Alright, in this, it's an escort mission. It's similar to one of the final fights in the first medieval game. You have a bunch of undead soldiers that you need to make sure they stay alive until the end. You gain more points, you gain more souls if you manage to keep alive all of them, or 6 of them. Yeah, I think this is now where I start using the Ultra Kill music.
God, I get Shadow the Hedgehog vibes from that
Ultra
track.
Kill is very, very, on the same page. Almost literally, because it involves a lot of sliding, a lot of, tech movement, and a lot of guns.
Oh, wow, really like Shadow the Hedgehog. When was that game made?
It's still being developed.
2005.
No.
I thought you were talking about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Ultra Kill is one of the love child of shooter and immersive sim company New Blood, which is being actively developed by a single person. I forgot his exact name, but has been doing the game for quite a while now, and it's near completion by the time we're recording. It's not really missing that much. And it also was one of the games back during the early stage of development that popularized Gianni Matragrano as a voice actor for these games, being hired for them, since he voiced one of the main antagonists, Gabriel, of course.
Okay, so technically Ultra Kill is kind of released. It's available via early access.
Yes, like I said, it's been released. Again, when it's finished, it will also probably hit consoles.
You know, that's the thing about early access. When you get down to it, in some cases, not saying all, but in some cases, early access is more or less, hey, you're essentially beta testing the game, so it's more or less there in its entirety, minus some patches.
That technically is what's happening. Supergiant is basically did also the same things with both Hades games.
Yeah. Anyway, the early access started on September 3rd, 2020, so yeah, well after Shadow the Hedgehog, so I guess Ultra Kill is more a love letter to that era of gaming.
It loves to reference a lot of things, like, believe it or not, the first Slenderman game, then stuff like, believe it or not, also Doki Doki Literature Club, and of all things, the first Crash Bandicoot. No, really, one of the bonus levels turns the game into a platformer where you need to break boxes and jump around with a goofy walking cycle.
Lord, I know the game's normally played in first person. Do they shift to third person for that platforming, I hope?
Yes,
thank God.
Again, I wouldn't recommend you to check it out right now, considering, potentially the price is still early access, and I don't even know if it's something that you might like, but look around on the internet in case. Maxor did a couple of videos on it. Also,
I love how even though it's early access, it's practically done enough to the point where its plot has a synopsis page on Wikipedia.
Because it's still going, it's more of a progressive thing because you're controlling a robot that descends literally into hell layer by layer.
Well, from what I've heard, apparently it has technically a quote-unquote conclusive end, in the sense where one could see the plot where it's at currently being the ending, but hey, maybe there'll be more plot added when the game is finally properly done and all that jazz.
Especially because recently it did have a slight graphical makeover, so the developer took the time to refine a bit the build that was there to make it a bit more palatable and pretty and everything. So again, there is that. We'll have to see when it gets released. Anyway, for this trial, I actually need to master the block and parry maneuver, as you can see. So, like I said, the combat trial that actually is forcing me to actually perform something that I normally wouldn't.
So, is the parry not really great?
I just suck attacking at this in particular. I'm a bit better in other games when it comes to timing the parry. I will definitely have to when I get to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. But for this one I just couldn't get the groove.
Wow, a Dark Souls player who doesn't like the parry. Never thought I'd see the day.
I prefer the dodging, admittedly, but no, I have...
Fair enough.
Occasionally I do have, you can check the videos. Alright, 2 done. I think only 2 or 3 remaining.
I do wonder if, like you said, it's a case where the devs realized, guys, these trials aren't too fun, so let's just end it here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which, I guess, kind of begs the question, if you realize they weren't fun, why leave them in?
Because they might still be useful to teach further players with moves they normally wouldn't use. Otherwise, you run into the Egoraptor problem of not potentially saying that much even outside of the issue tutorial in the manual. When you get a player that 2 minutes in is like, what am I supposed to do?
You know what, that's a fair enough point. And honestly, from what I've seen, I don't think the trials are the worst. I do think, though, we probably are ending on enough of a sweet note that they don't overstay their welcome.
I could also swear these were some sort of a thing in some of the Zelda games where, Link had to perform a specific task in order to prove that it was worth going to the next dungeon. But again, I'm not that much of a Zelda player, fortunately. Also, stealth introduction to a new enemy type, these Gorgons-looking motherfuckers.
Beautiful. I'm something of a Zelda fan myself, yes. I'll admit, I don't always remember the specifics with the dungeons, since I'll admit,
the Twilight Princess had those, these kind
I
of
think
things?
Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time did. Majora's Masks may have mixed it up a bit. Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom are all about the mini dungeons and everything, but I'm talking about games where they're released at the same time or before this one. Remember, 2010.
Fair enough.
Inspiration and everything.
Okay, then yeah, I'm pretty sure Ocarina of Time did, and yeah, I'm sure Twilight Princess did as well. Maybe Wind Waker, maybe not. Wind Waker may have done a different approach.
Shut up.
Guess that's his take that for being mean to me earlier about.
Again, that's the whole joke with the Watcher. It's like, hey, remember when, Navi tells you, hey, listen, you get that, but it's, a crass spirit waste by Mark Hamill.
Like I said, I find it...
That.
I mean,
It's funny
could you imagine if each was going for like a Skyward Sword thing? It's like, you only have 2% battery power.
Thanks, Fee.
Alright, for this
That knowledge
trial,
came in handy.
you need to actually slam cars into your enemies.
Why
Well,
are
if she had a really bad cough.
Why are cars spawning into this sacred holy ground?
The better question is, why not?
So what, did God sell out to Nissan or something?
Okay, Dweebs, you're the wrestling fan. Was there a particular event or a wrestler who loved to have as a signature thing, not necessarily a vehicle, but, tossing a vehicle to an opponent, but something similar to that? Like a bike, I guess?
Well, there have been, there's not a wrestler specifically, but there have been storylines involving wrestlers getting run over by a car.
I do seem
Have
to
they
remember
ever-
one of the very, one or two episodes that I watched. One where, Dave Bautista was the chauffeur of someone, but turned on him, but I don't remember what was, the context and everything. So that's the closest I got to that.
Well, the closest I
ever-
can think of was that Batista was a he was a deacon, and he played the assistant to Reverend Devon, because that was during his short-lived stint as a reverend character who goes around preaching stuff.
Okay.
Have they ever had a skit or case where a wrestler was strong enough to actually hold up a car that they wheeled onto stage or something and slam it down onto another opponent?
Not exactly, although there have been wrestlers who are depicted as having as showing a feat of strength to tip the thing over with their bare hands.
Again, India for practical reasons drove I needed to mate. Can you move?
I get the feeling these guys aren't okay.
Oh, now he moves. Okay.
What the hell are these contraptions he's throwing at us?
The power of the American motorized industry. It's the thing that bankrupted Detroit twice.
I mean, how do you even know they're American?
Because they can explode like that when it toss them. You don't get that with Japanese technology.
Okay, fine. Here's an Aston Martin.
Wow, the Aston Martin must have really rusted horribly.
You just know that if
No,
it was
it
a
is
case,
the apocalypse.
You just know that if it was a case that was released recently, all of these will be Cybertrucks.
And yet the Game Boys are still surviving.
Different
Well, Game Boys
technology,
are just
man.
built differently.
Yeah, it's like a Nokia 3310.
The phone signal's not going to work though.
Well,
It's
alas,
good to know that our automobile companies are in fact creating weapons that are capable of fighting back the demons from hell.
Okay, I'm also not an expert on you know, chemistry for petroleum and stuff, but doesn't it like decay 100 years after, you know, it's just being stagnant? Or just evaporates maybe from the tank?
Maybe, given the fossilizations of the cars, those were kept intact.
I mean, again, it's not a big deal, so don't worry about that, audience. It doesn't. I'm actually curious.
Although, to be fair, gasoline doesn't have a half-life, so...
Oh, it doesn't decay. Okay. Like, I thought that maybe because it's in a liquid state and, you know, just being exposed, will have it evaporate at some point.
Okay. To be fair, gasoline's a fossil fuel.
How you're
given
talking
what a
to
lot
me?
of...
I'm literally
hello?
underwater. How was Mark Hamill talking to me?
Maybe he speaks in his mind.
Alright, I solved your stupid trials. Go away.
Sisters praise you.
My ancestor was a mountain. My grandfather was Mount Everest.
Oh no, don't worry, these are not the rock biters from Neverending Story. Again, there's more to them than just the mere appearance of stone and metal.
Watch out for the ogre's butt there.
The ogre's butt.
Like, not only was that ogre literally a rock biter, but we still don't know what was the reason behind that line read and why that was the take they went with.
Again, we didn't mention in the commentary, I think, but it's that really applicable for that line of The Simpsons. We did 20 takes and that was the best one.
We did 20 takes, and that was the best one.
Alright, so on we go.
Yeah.
I wonder if the next temple's the water temple.
We shall see taking in the next part because we need to find Ultane first. For now, I'm just having a small detour if I remember correctly because first of all, the enemy type, like I said, is a snake-looking motherfucker with 4 arms. Thankfully, again, the crossblades allow you to do also some juggling tech if you want. There you go. And let's see if after I raise this platform basically off screen in order to get this. Another limestone shards. Again, pieces of your heart containers. I'm actually surprised that in the Metroid games Samus always finds complete elf tanks instead of actually pieces of it, similar to Zelda's heart container. I guess it's for streamlining purpose. Yeah, let's move on. More giant pipes. I wonder where are we supposed to be now?
Like, Jesus, I get that some sewers need to be big, but
Again, it's
at this
not
point
even
this
a
feels like
sewer.
somebody
This
was...
This is supposed to
It's
be
just-
kind of sort of a railway station system of sorts.
It feels like someone was building parts for a cart track at this point.
Okay, yeah, I will say probably this pit is actually part of a sewer, but to be fair, it has also decayed that much. Yeah, but
This
also,
And
Ladies- this
vegetation,
ladies
which
and-
implies lack of care.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what happened to the theme park from Crash Tag Team Racing after the game's sales
tanked.
didn't quite pan out.
You
Also,
know, I was
you might
actually
have
going to joke
noticed,
more so that this is the sewer race course from Crash Team Racing.
Also, you may notice that the underwater combat is fairly simple and the fishes are very annoying. So as you can imagine, they dropped that for the second game. The underwater exploration is still a thing, but you just don't have to fight anymore in it. So good read.
Give it- Yeah, like, at least you seem capable enough in water, but I can still see water sections being people's least favorite parts of the game.
You need to watch out also because some places now the vines do have those exploding bombs, so you need to let them explode before continuing.
Oh, how fun.
This was also a Bulgarian place here, so at least I can teleport in case.
Fast travel for the win.
What would you ask of this
You know, what was Phil Lamar doing in 2010? Because Samurai Jack had been wrapped up, obviously. So
Well, it's Phil Lamar, so he probably
Okay.
had a lot of stuff under his belt. What the heck?
2010, I think, I forgot which specific year was it, he voiced one important character in Final Fantasy XII, and also he was voicing Ramza in the PSP version of the Final Fantasy Tactics called The War of Alliance.
Oh my, he was in Real Steel live action performance-wise as an ESPN boxing commentator.
Anyway, in the meantime, I acquired Scythe. The game doesn't specifically mention that it's from Death, War's brother, but it's just there to give you a weapon that is similar to the one that Death uses, so you can be familiar with it. Don't get too excited, you cannot get all the weapons of all the other horsemen, just a few as a sample of sorts.
You might have mentioned it and I missed it, but what about? Come on, guys! Clearly, his best role was Marvin from Pulp Fiction.
Alright, we seem to have found the Black Hammer, so we just need to grab it, I guess, but...
Come on already.
You're not worthy, are you?
It's a giant, heavy sword. What do you think?
Hammer, you wanna give you that? Anyway, here's this lovely fella, voiced by Jamie Blanco with a very, very extra thick Scottish accent.
Urthane.
Boy, Lionel really let himself go.
Also, interesting, you may have noticed, interesting transitioning of scenes. They really try to mimic some of the comic book aspects.
I noticed.
What a lovely chap.
I've come for the Black Hammer. Really now? Well, you're welcome to give it another go. After that, I'd best not catch you around here again. It's you.
Oh.
What's that now? The Black Hammer. It's you.
Oh?
Do your worst. But let me tell you a little secret, boy. The one in the dirt is by far the easier of the two.
So yeah, a sparring match, quote unquote, with Urthane. Ow. He's very sturdy, so to speak. Basically, the entire joke with these creatures, which we'll meet more in the games going by, is that they're basically having all of the stereotypes of the fantasy world, the Scottish accent, very stubborn, very, crass, enjoying the game and everything, but they're just, giant size instead.
Good to know. So what you're saying is this guy is essentially a glorified mob.
Can you just wait somewhere else?
Since the day Abaddon was taken from us, I have prayed for this moment. For your crimes, I would see you tried in the White City.
This
But
is
until
really
this
not the
world is
time.
free of the Destroyer, its gates are closed to us, and justice will not wait. I sentence you here.
Sure,
and now.
whatever.
No.
No, you.
Onk.
Jesus.
Your justice can wait till we finish our little scrap, missy. There ain't no sport in jumping into a tussle that don't concern you.
Say, why don't you skedaddle?
If I'll pluck ya. Blasphemer! It is you who take sides in a battle.
Oh, Rodney from Accountant, you shouldn't have.
Please allow me.
Superhero landing, yay! And slow-mo to boot.
That's what you get for touching what ain't yours. I'd duck if I were
You thief. Always touching what doesn't belong to you.
Alright, so now you have another sparring match of sorts. Since the angels do not get the memo and just will not leave you alone, you have to move to the next location alongside Urthane, and whoever gets to kill most angels more than the other wins. If Urthane wins, he will just rub that in your face. If War wins, you will gain, I think, either an item or an extra ability for you to carry.
Cute. That still counts as one.
Basically, each angel counts as one. The game actively encourages you to kill steal from Urthane, so don't be afraid to do so.
Look,
Especially because he
There
would
is
not
no-
repay the courtesy.
there is no honor in regarding the kill steal here or there. This is war. I am war. And
This
all
is who I
spare
am.
love and war.
I also particularly love the satisfying sound that War's sword, Chaos Eater, performs on the Angel's armor. Just the
Indeed.
sound.
Indeed, the sound design is on point here, and as we learned from behind the scenes with
Watcher,
Heavenly Sword.
Watcher, the road is that way. I'm leaving you behind.
But yeah, no, like, as we learned from the behind the scenes stuff for Heavenly Sword, there's a lot that can go into sound design, or just them having to use all these different props to sometimes make sound effects, so
We also
I do
saw
wonder
that,
what they came up with that.
We also saw that to an extent also in in season 1 or 2 of Agent Carter, where in order to do the radio drama based on Captain America, we did stuff, with objects and food in order to simulate, the fight scene. That was actually cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a tale as old as time with sound effects. Like, obviously, technology has made it somewhat more easy and fluid, but I like to imagine that even with some of the newest stuff, some people do things the old-fashioned way in generating some sound effects.
And apparently that angel forgot where they could fly. Okay.
Oops. You know, maybe this is why the apocalypse got out of hand if God's own, office workers kind of forgot the memo on how to deal with it.
If that cutscene was anything to go by with the one that tried to raise the Black Hammer, they really are going for the stupid evil archetype. Sorry, stupid good archetype.
I wonder if it's one of those cases where it turns out this is one of those cases that's more sympathetic to Lucifer in the sense that, yeah, he messed up, but he's relatively a chill guy who, when you get
We
down to
shall
it,
see.
probably...
Like I said at the beginning, if I recall correctly, or at least at the second part, do not trust anyone at the end of the day.
Isn't it great, though? All our friends are demons who might kill us in the blink of an eye. How wonderful.
These truly are the end times.
Honestly, it's kind of amazing War isn't in a worse mood than he normally is, given everything.
He internalizes a lot. So.
That would explain a lot. Okay, is there anyone else stupid enough to...
Oh,
yep, there we
because,
go.
we just begun with similar to the set piece with the Grapon we ride. This goes on for quite some time.
Not saying that this is bad, but I do get the feeling there were definitely points where sometimes the devs were having a lot of fun with their sequences and whatnot, but I wonder if sometimes they actually play-tested them to get an idea of how it feels. And I guess, to be fair, even if they did playtest them, admittedly, what's fun to somebody who designed something, especially given how tough it is to design these things, might feel more fun to them than somebody who's picking it up for the first time.
Like I said, I actually don't have a problem actually playing the game, because this kind of character action game, similar to again God of War, Devil May Cry, really works out. Especially these days when, instead the Souls-like formula is more popular, so, this is still has come full circle and seen as a bit of a novelty,
Hey, the fastball special.
It's also one of the reasons why I still enjoyed a lot of the Castlevania and those Shadow games, but...
Let me make it clear, I don't dislike it. I just do think that, like you said, sometimes it drags on a bit in some areas.
Well, like I said, as long as, I'm the one playing, I don't really also have a problem with dragging it too much. It's more of a matter of, when it comes to actually showcasing it to someone else.
Which, again, I'm overall liking what I see. My critique would just be to maybe work on the pacing a bit, and it sounds like you've even mentioned that they did address some things in the sequel, despite the fact that it changes up the gameplay genre.
Again, you'll see when we get there. Please just be patient.
Of course. No worries. Besides, we're having a good time with our bud here, War. Having to prove our innocence.
Prove these, again, let's just label him as Samuel did, an old one. That's the species that Utena is part of.
And watch us through all these trials and tribulations. It turns out the culprit is Shadow War, who's actually just Gabriel in disguise with a paintbrush.
Clearly. Oh, thank you for doing the opening. This also is
I know, right?
international a bit more bulky, angels people with those cannons. And here's the neat thing. First of all, you need to properly kill them. But again, since they're more chunky, definitely you have a bit more health.
Mm-hmm.
But here's also the thing, you get to steal their guns, so who wants a new gameplay style? Now let's turn the game into a shooter.
You know, I was kind of wondering when I saw their guns falling if we'd get to use them. Well, here we go.
The Redemption works pretty much like a machine gun, unlimited ammo to boot. You can fire normally the projectile, like a machine gun, but you can also charge the shot, and it's probably, best recommended for these sections because it vaporizes the angels much quicker, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get swarmed, and each shot can deal significant amount of damage if left unchecked.
Beautiful. Also, of course it doesn't have an ammo limit. It's a weapon bestowed by God himself.
It fires with the will of God or something? I don't know. Like, call it whatever you want, like God controls his weapon. Together we can be justice, yes. Yeah, see what I mean? If you actually let the angels swarm you and keep shooting at you, your health is gonna drain considerably. It's one of those key things where you need to pay attention. Not helpful by, like somebody said a few parts ago, War has no invincibility frame when it comes to, taking damage.
I guess one nice trade-off at least is that he doesn't seem to stagger nearly as much.
No.
Which, okay, admittedly, that can mean you won't notice the health going down if you're not paying attention
again,
as well, but at least...
It was a classic problem of the time, actually.
Which, I guess, that's kind of the opposite of, like, Belmont knockback, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
you don't get knocked. That one was specifically made so it will catapult whatever, character you were playing as towards the closest bottomless pit, because the game hated you.
That said, you weren't kidding. This game, this sequence definitely gives you a lot of opportunity to get more kills than the Black Hammer.
Well, you need to pay attention because, for example, the game will potentially have a way to give more enemies to obtain, and you are encouraged, like he said, to kill steal from his side. In this case, using the Redemption weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also there's also the fact that Ultane runs out of one-liners very fast and starts repeating them.
So he's voiced by Jameson Pierce, right?
No, J.B. Blank.
Oh, right, J.B. Blank. I was gonna say, it'd be weird for Jameson Pierce to be doing I'm gonna say, comedic role? Like, okay, he's not like a goof, but he seems to be definitely one of the more lighthearted characters
This was also
in this game.
2010, where Scottish accent equaled funniest shit ever, but to be fair, that's not what they're going with. Because again, they're doing basically dwarven stereotypes more than anything. So, this was just a counter, not a counter, but an extra thing that was a thing at the time, rather than, a coincidence of the time. There you go.
Yeah, for some reason, behind the voice actors is a bit flaky. Like, it lists characters and does even have J.B. Blanc, but it counts him as under additional voices instead of crediting him directly for Ultane.
Instead, if you want.
Yeah.
This is also where you start to be reunited properly with Ultane on the main path, if I recall correctly. Even notice also this is where the next dungeon is where we're gonna obtain the gadgets where we require in order to finally break these orichalcum-like barriers that have been pestering us since the beginning of the game. You wanna do something, Otane, please?
Nah, I feel like it.
Yeah, Redemption can't do jack against this thing.
Wow, what are these crystals made out of?
Of course. No.
Yeah.
Like I said, my headcanon is bad about Orichalcum because that's usually the cool, you know, mysterious, you know, mineral that is also potentially super resistant when it comes to, you know, Chthonian stuff.
Over here.
Oh, thank you, I guess. Yeah, that's your exit door. However, to note, if you try to open it yourself, War Cant is not strong enough. So for now you need to have Ultane babysit you that. There you go. And I won. So at least he's a good sport. And I get the combat lore passive enhancement. Which helps me, basically, it's an experience multiplier, basically. If I want to level up a weapon faster, I need to equip that.
You'll go nowhere, horseman.
Oh my god, Uriel, I basically slaughtered like 3/4 of your cohort already. It's like, can you give up?
Huh. So we're fighting her already, huh? Interesting. I honestly thought she was gonna be a later game boss.
And the Watcher is a bit of a asshole specifically towards her. Let's just say that he's not done by throwing some colorful insults to her. No, she has to be carried away. Oh well.
Wow, so we slaughtered everyone else, but she's intact. I guess she's tougher
I
than
have
she
to go
looks.
now. My planet needs
The
me.
pigeons seem mighty convinced, but I ain't. So once again, you know me, but I still don't know you.
The Griever's lair.
The Griever's beyond here. I had to seal these passages up tight to keep our pets out of my yard. Little bastards keep dropping by uninvited, taking things what don't belong to them.
Ow.
I am who I claim
I said
to be.
earlier.
You kill that Griever. Even make it back out of that hole, that'll be proof enough. Then, I promise,
Okay.
we'll have words.
So I could just go in, then come out after like 1 second. That's not because you didn't say anything of you. She said even if you come out of the hole.
Well, to be fair, we haven't seen what said hole is yet.
And
now,
we
have
cannot
we?
open back the door ourselves, so we're kind of stuck here. Anyway, to the next part where we explore the dungeon and fight the Griever. So see you for that.
See ya.
See you then.